Working families are paying 12 billion rand more in taxes. That's according to the Democratic Alliance. The party claims government has prioritised bailouts for state-owned entities at the expense of South Africans. Tax policy expert Beatrice joins me now to discuss this. Very good morning.
Good morning, Jane.
Is that 12 billion true?
Yes, it is. But it's true in the sense that we knew about this in budget February. So Minister Tito Mboweni was quite frank when he said we're quite squeezed. And I think all of us in the economy, especially working class families and everybody that's kind of fortunate to have a job, we know that we have to tighten our belts. And the question, I think, for policymakers, and I want to take a little bit of issue, I think the words that he used was, it's the ideology of out-of-touch policymakers, the statement that was made by the MP. I don't think it's an out-of-touch way to ensure that we don't give away tax that we don't have. So if you look at it from a kind of just revenue generating perspective, we have a different number of tax instruments to our disposal. And one of them is income tax. And we know in South Africa in particular, income tax, especially if we look at the kind of way that it's generated, it's making up kind of 36, almost 37% of our income. We know we have a very narrow wedge. So whatever is done there is felt very categorically by everybody involved. At the same time, this is something that was foreshadowed in the budget. It was in payroll, and it's in your and my salary package already today. It was in payroll 1 March.
How does it play out? I mean, how does stealth tax work, and what's the general focus?
Okay, it's stealth, I suppose, from the point of view that it isn't something which is immediately catching you. So if VAT rate goes up, you go, ooh, VAT rate has gone up. In this particular case, it is when you look at the tax brackets that are implemented, if you pay tax over a certain amount, every year inflation increases and our spending power decreases as a result of inflation. So in order to do that, you and I normally get a salary increase to say that at least this year you will be, or next year, you will be able to buy as much as you would have been able to buy this year. Most governments then say, as a result of inflation, if they are unfortunate enough to have inflation, they say we will then give you alleviation of this by adjusting the tax brackets. But that is by no means a given. In our country, it's become a given because that is what we have always done. So I think people expect that.
And I suppose depending on the bracket, you could, even though you get a salary increase, you could walk away with a lot less.
You could, if the salary bracket, in fact, or if your tax bracket, in fact, doesn't necessarily increase, but what happens is your rebate isn't increased. So the amount that comes almost out as tax-free. So that is the rebate works in such a way that it is a portion, you'll see your first, second and third rebate that you get. It ensures that there's a portion of people that don't pay tax at all, and that there's a portion of income that you will receive tax-free, as it were.
So what do we do with this knowledge that there has been a 12% stealth tax increase? We're probably going to get some more. We've got those billions there that's made it all the way to the government coffers, which we know will go into, not into our, not back to us. Probably.
Not back to us.
Yep.
I think the first part is don't panic. You've known about this and you've worked with this now since 1st of March. You've tightened your belt. You are used to this. It's not nice, but we are used to this.
Okay.
So that's the first part. The second part is, why bring this up now? I'm staying in my line. I'm not a political expert, but now we've known about this. We've gotten used to this. And if anything, we can talk about what happens next year and what happens in next year's budget, and if we may be forced to exercise the same policy restraint, I would say, in terms of making use of the tax instruments at our disposal.
Beatrice, thank you very much.
Thank you.